Hey guys, how's it going? Murder of Birds here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my very first RWBY Theory / discussion video. So as you guys are probably aware, I'm not used to making theory-based videos about RWBY on the channel. It's just never been my strong suit, mainly because I'm not that good when it comes to presenting and elaborating on whatever topics I'm trying to flesh out. And I've attempted to make theories in the past, but I've never gone through with them because of this. However, I've been vocal about this theory in particular since Volume 4, so I'm gonna try to express my thoughts on the matter since Raven is part of the equation and she's become more prominent within Volume 5. At the time of this recording, Volume 5 Chapter 4 is the latest episode available to watch on the RT site, but not on YouTube, so spoiler alerts if you have yet to watch Chapter 4. I hope you guys enjoy the theory, and as the title suggests, this is a discussion video first and foremost, so be sure to leave your thoughts, counter-arguments, or overall opinions in the comment section. And without further ado, let's get started. So the catalyst that actually motivated me to go through with making this video came from a response by Miles Luna and Carrie Shawcross, the writers of the show, during the New York Comic-Con RWBY Twitch panel, where the cast was asked about what they were looking forward to most for RWBY Volume 5.
I'm excited about the birds.
The birds?
I think the birds are going to be pretty cool this season. And some people might think that a joke, that it's not. No, it's not. I mean exactly what I say. I'm excited about the birds this volume.
The first thing I immediately thought of was Crow and Raven, mainly because it was confirmed during Volume 3's after credit scene, but specifically in Volume 4 that Crow had the ability to turn into a crow, and Raven, being his twin sister, probably had a similar ability with her being able to turn into a raven. But then I thought, why would they be excited for the birds, plural, when we've already seen one of those birds confirmed? And thus, this is where my theory begins. So it's no surprise at this point, but birds have been a rather consistent theme since RWBY has started, going as far back as the colored trailers. Of the various bird sightings throughout the series, 7 individual sightings piqued my curiosity the most. There was a bird sighted in the red trailer, the black trailer, and the yellow trailer. There was a bird sighted during Volume 3 Chapter 3 when Crow and Winter met in the Beacon courtyard, and again during the Volume 3 finale just outside Yang's bedroom window. There was a bird in Volume 4 that was seemingly following Crow, and another just as Crow finished telling the legend of the gods and the relics.
There's nothing else you want to tell us?
Not tonight.
And if none of these bird examples were Crow specifically, then the 8th outlier would be the reveal of Crow's ability in the Volume 3 finale as well as Chapter 6 of Volume 4. Now the popular opinion is that all of these bird sightings are either Crow or Raven if she shares the same ability. But I found it a little hard to believe that Crow and Raven would be showcased across various locations throughout Sonus and Anima. So I decided to narrow my source to the origins of this bird fiasco.
Specifically, the Brownwind tribe.
At the time of this recording, it has been confirmed that Crow and Raven's semblances do not correlate with the ability to turn into birds. Crow's passive semblance was confirmed during Volume 4 to be bad luck or misfortune.
Did you know that crows are a sign of bad luck? My semblance isn't like most. I bring misfortune. I guess you could call me a bad luck charm.
While Raven's semblance was confirmed in Volume 5 Chapter 4 to be the ability to create portals to certain people that she creates bonds with.
Dad told me how your semblance works. You could bond to certain people, and when you do, you could create a portal that takes you straight to them. You've got one for Dad, one for me, and you've got one for Crow.
So this now leads me to believe that if Raven can in fact turn into a raven just like her brother can turn into a crow, then perhaps this ability is tribal and possible for any members of the Brownwind tribe as well. The following examples are going to focus on the 2 significant members and former member of the Brownwind tribe, but can easily apply to any of the tribe members if more information is shared about them. So we have Crow Brownwind, Raven Brownwind, and Vernal. So aside from all 3 of them being a part of the same tribe, the first thing I want to focus on are their names. We learned in Volume 4 that Crow and Raven were both raised by the Brownwind tribe.
You're the one who left. The tribe raised us, and you turned your back on them.
And due to his semblance, Crow got his name from the superstition of crows being a sign of bad luck.
Did you know that crows are a sign of bad luck? Old superstition, but it's how I got my name.
We don't know the origins of Raven's name, but it seems to also follow that bird theme as well. And while her name literally refers to spring and the vernal equinox, Vernal's name also shares a common link with that same bird theme, specifically the vernal hanging parrot of Southeast Asia. Now when it comes to their names, the first correlation I thought of were Native American tribes and their customs when it comes to naming their members as well. The Miwok tribe were accustomed to naming their tribesmen after nature, particularly with water-given names. The Navajo gave power to their names and withheld assigning members their true name until they reached adolescence, while tribes like the Lakota were more accustomed to giving multi-purpose nicknames. So I think the bird names given to Crow, Raven, and Vernal could be a reference to these real-world tribal traditions, and that they could have gotten their names at the early or mid stages of joining the Bronwyn tribe. And in regards to the ability of shapeshifting into birds, it can't be their semblances, and magic is seemingly exclusive to the maidens, but I think it could be another tribal exclusive akin to tribal rituals or even rites of passage. Many Native American tribes also partook in ceremonial rituals and rites of passage, such as rain dancing, spiritual healing, and even vision quests. But at this point, I think the connection of the shape-shifting ability could be related to Vernal's phoenix-like bird tattoo. As with the previous examples, all Native American tribes use tattooing in their culture. They would mark their arms, their chest, their legs, and even their inner thighs to show how many battle kills they've accumulated. So if any correlations can be drawn from this, it's possible that Crow and Raven could have tribal tattoos linking to their abilities to shapeshift into these birds that we just haven't seen yet. And lastly, I have 3 unrelated mentions that could add some validity to this theory overall. The first being the fact that aside from Crow, we've seen 7 different bird sightings throughout the series, as I mentioned earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these 7 birds could actually be a reference to the German fairy tale The Seven Ravens, collected by the Brothers Grimm, who've had references and inspirations throughout the RWBY series thus far. The tale simply tells of 7 brothers who were turned into ravens. My second mention is the way in which Lionheart mentions Raven's tribe.
We need to be positive we can apprehend Spring, because if we fail, Raven and her tribe will scatter, and we'll be lost.
I just think describing Raven's tribe scattering paints a more vivid picture if the entire tribe can literally turn into birds and scatter into the sky. And my last mention that is stretched the farthest is found in RWBY Volume 1, Chapter 8. When Jean and Pyrrha are making their way into the cave to locate the relic, there's an old tribal carving on the wall showing a band of tribesmen fighting off a Deathstalker. Amidst the battle, it seems like there are several bird-like figures shown throughout the carving. This could be a sign of shapeshifting in the early days of Remnant, or it can just be Nevermores, as there were Nevermores accompanied with the Deathstalker fight against Team RWBY and Team Juniper in the same chapter. But hey, that's just a theory. A RWBY theory. MatPat, please don't sue me.